And so I was just playing around with my API import here. Basically is what creates the wfTutorials site. So basically you can see I have it loaded up here somewhere, right? So if I wanted, let's say I want to get the featured image, so I can do that. So let's just go back to my script. I know this is just out of order. So right now this is I get in an array value here, and if I wanted the actual key, well, I think I'll get an object. So in arrays and objects, I'll get the key from the array, and there's a featured image, I believe. Alright, so this should give me basically just a URL, right? So if I wanted to display that, I could, what can I do? Featured image. So let's do a template string, and a template string allows you to like join text and variables, right? So I can just output that image tag, and the source will be the current input. So that's like a special variable. So if we expand that, you can see this. Pretty cool, right? If I change the key, so let's get the one at 1. Cool. Let's get the one at the image at 2. Pretty cool. Alright, so what is this? So once you load it up, you'd see something. Let's close everything. You'd see something like this. So basically, it would just be a blank canvas, another section here saying no build set, and you probably won't even have a directory open, so you can close the directory. So the first thing you could do is open a directory or open a project. It's kind of what it would be, a project. So my project is open, and we can see any FlowPro files that we have there. Also, we can click here and say all files. So we have all the files there, but going back to only FlowPro files. And basically the order should be you click file and new to create a new file, or you can create it here. Alright, so file new FlowPro file, and let's call it API. Let's just call it that. Alright, so we have it here. So that's like the first step. You can't really do anything here. And so that's the project section. And now let's say we go to the blocks. And generally, it's suggested the start block is start with start. And the reason is this is like your root node, and you could always edit from your root node if you understand. So, nice. So you could always edit from your root node, and you don't want your root node to be anything important, because then you'd have to repeat it, or you'd have to clear the canvas and start again. So it's good to put the root node as start. So that's the first block. And let's say we just want to do something simple. We say short text input. The name is as it sounds. We say hello world. And then we say we want to output this. So we go to output and we say output results, run, hello world. So this is basically what FlowPro does. It kind of allows you to do programming, but it uses this like blocks to do it, blocks with properties, and it does everything for you on the back end. It builds from Node, Electron, JavaScript. It does everything on the back end for you, and you just have to work with front end stuff. So you enter the text and it output the results, and that's basically it. If you build the script, you could run it as many times as you want to. You can hide different sections. This was the last. This is the display, right? The output window. So there are a lot of different blocks. So they're kind of sectioned off in categories. So we have favorites. So that's, you can make anything a favorite. Any block you have, you can make it a favorite. And then we have the general block, which is just a list of general things. Pass string as object, download a file, unique string ID, pass markdown, break execution, which is pretty cool. That basically, wherever you put it, it will stop. So it will stop at short text input. So you probably won't see anything output to the screen. And so, you did, but it's supposed to stop right there. Let's clear the world. Clearing world is important. this is embarrassing. Alright, but break execution. Hello, stop. So let's save this, because sometimes it's not updated. You know? Okay. It works as expected. For example, if I was to say, let's say, echo message or pipe output, echo message, and say test message, this should not show, right? Because break execution, what it does, it stops at that point and outputs whatever is currently the last current output, and the last current output would be short text output. So that's where the confusion was, but it was as expected. So if you take this out and run it again, you should see test message and hello world test message, right? So it goes as expected. So we have different blocks. We have output blocks, send email, which is a pretty cool one. So you can put in the settings there, and connection string to subject body from. And we have array and objects, so that's dealing with arrays and objects. We have some data functions. We probably need some more. We have some string manipulation blocks. We have, what else do we have? We have loops. We have conditionals. We have some math functions to get pi. Let's see, put pi there. Output results. Output results. Output pi. And we have files, some file functions. The file exists. If part is file, create a folder. We have some database, so you can work with MySQL, SQL, and SQLite for now. We have some file transfer features. So there are a lot of different blocks, and you can use these blocks to build different scripts. And then you could run those scripts as you see the need to, right? If you save them, they are saved like this. It's basically a file. You could just basically, wherever you use this, it should work the same way, in theory. But yeah, so you could just share the file, and it will load up the same way, and you could run it. So it's pretty cool on any operating system, presuming Electron builds correctly. Right. So what else can you do? We also have the ability to export as a package, which basically just says add the files that you want to export. We could add them. Let's say we could add API, and we probably could add some other file. And basically, all this does is just create a folder with a list of files. This is convenient. I mean, you can do this yourself, but it does it for you. And it's convenient in the sense that, let's say you're working with external resources like an Excel file or SQLite database, you will have to package that in order for the script to work wherever you want it to work. Because I will show you a sending example. So let's say we go to database and we say SQLite query, right? So what we need for this is a database part and a SQL query. The database part is basically a file part. And obviously, a file part will only work on your computer. So you need to do something. So you need to package that database with your script so that it can work well, for example. Alright, and then we have settings. So it's basic settings, repeat delay. So you can run the script, you can repeat it multiple times. And then canvas size basically just says how long this is. So you can have more space to play with. So it can go pretty far. Why doesn't really matter, because again it only runs one block after the other, right? So it only runs one part. I think if it's built like this, it will only take the furthest part on the left. So this is really just for restructuring. But if you actually want to run the script, it needs to be like this for it to run correctly. Alright, so that's settings, canvas size, and then we have environment variables, which basically are what they seem to be. So you give the variable a name, you give it a description, you give it a value, and when you do that, let me show you something cool. Can I just show the actual console? Right. So we are going to output the world. So the world is basically an object that holds world values, right? So you can see some cool stuff here. So if you can make it a little bit bigger, actually let's clear it and run it again. So this is the world right now. You can see we have the environmental variables already in the world, and basically that means once you run your script, it has access to these variables. And then we have some special ones with base directory and home directory. So that would be, so you could use that. Those are just things for you to use. You can always use base directory and home directory. You always have access to that, so you could use that when you're building your scripts so that you don't have to use absolute paths because they won't always work. So that's settings. Settings is pretty basic. Help, don't have anything as yet. I am working on the documentation, and our bounce is just allowed. And so that's basically FlowPro. Once you get started with it, you can do different stuff. You can have fun with it. I hope you have fun with it. It seems pretty cool. I should be finished with it shortly, and then I will release it and we see how it goes. So you could do there's a table as well. You could create tables, pretty print. I'll do dialog. I believe I have to finish this function. Write to files, so you could write stuff to files. So there are a lot of features. So, alright, that's it for me.